So the United States of America is focusing on Nigeria right now. It's a huge focus. Like Nigeria is now a huge focus by the United States government, and I don't know what to say about that. Whether or not it's a good thing or there are U.S. interests concerning that, because when you're looking at Nigeria being on all focus, you just got to figure out like what the heck is going on. Right now, Representative Riley Moore, Chris Smith, that's the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Africa Subcommittee, and other leading lawmakers have sponsored a bill, which is the Nigeria Religious Freedom Act. What does that act entail? It's just talking about really exposing the funders of terrorism in Nigeria. And a controversial name that has been put out right now is um, is the former governor of Kano State, which is Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso. I mean, I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is the Kwakwansia movement. This is the movement for change in Kano State. This is the movement that people are excited about. But the fact that he's being exposed as one of the instigators of terrorism because of the institutionalization of the Sharia law in Kano State, which is one of the states with the largest population in the northern part of Nigeria, begs the question. And you all, if you could just listen to the founders of NNPP in Kano State, which is Buba Galadima, just take a listen on his response to this.
I think that is most unfair. Most unfair to Kwankwanso, most unfair to his person, and most unfair to his integrity as a peaceful Nigerian. What we see is intrigues of election 2027. We know, we were told, there were rumors all over that Kwankwanso was going to be arrested if he refused to defect to the APC, that Kwankwanso is going to be, this is going to happen to him, that EFCC will look for him, that ICPC will look for him. Surprisingly, the matter came offshore, that is in the US. And we wonder, from where did they get that story? And the Kwankwanso was the victim of Sharia, was the victim because he was governor 2003, and Kwankwanso decided, as he is, as a principled person, as a principled politician, to go all hog with General Obasanjo as president. When other governors in northern Nigeria found it expedient to tell the world, to tell their supporters that they can vote for them as governors and vote for Buhari as president, Kwankwanso stood his grounds, despite the fact that Obasanjo is a Christian, that whoever wants to vote for him must also vote for Obasanjo. Okay. That costed him his re-election as governor of Kano State. And there are evidences to show, and I don't want to discuss, I have said this several times on this platform and other platforms. I don't want to discuss religion. I don't want to discuss tribe. I don't want to discuss ethnicity. I don't want to discuss where a Nigerian comes from. Kwankwanso is one of the people that, despite the volatility of Kano politics, that have protected all minority groups and all tribal groups in Kano.
So it's pretty much like, okay, this must be a political witch hunt. The current governor of Kano State now wants to become an APC member, so just trying to discredit him. So there's a lot of information concerning that. Now, this begs to question that why do we have to look to international governments to hold our leaders accountable? Don't we have a system of accountability in Nigeria anymore? Why do we have to go outside the country to look for accountability? I can answer that because they're above the law. Because democracy in Nigeria and democracy period is a government for some people, by some people, for some people. And the for some people happen to be the funders of terrorism in Nigeria. So the spotlight is on, the former governor Kwakwanso right now, and a list of other unknowns that are like allegedly the funders of terrorism in Nigeria, and trying to say, okay, we issue sanctions against them, we don't give them visas to the United States. But I think that it should be a lot harsher for them, because they are making Nigeria barely ungovernable for the president and whoever is in power. So that is a huge issue. That is a huge issue. Now, it may be a political witch hunt. That could be a possibility. That okay, that yes, they are trying to Islamize Nigeria, but in order to cover our tracks, some people have to, take one for the team, and one of it happens to be Musa Kwakwanso because he's an opposition person. That's a possibility, but that doesn't negate the fact that he might be involved. It doesn't take away the fact, because he who wants equity has to come with clean hands. So you have to just, if you're going to do something bad, you have to realize that if shit hits the fan, you're going to be caught on a lurch. And that's the truth. And that's exactly what has happened to the former governor of Kano State, Kwakwanso. And this alone is going to kill the Kwakwansia movement in Kano State. Or maybe that's the purpose of it. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. So, um, in terms of, we need to make sure that we have a system of government that is full of transparency and accountability, which we don't have right now. That's why we're going to other governments like the United States government to be able to issue a law against these people, that, okay, we'll freeze their accounts, we will not give them visa, we're going to do a bunch of stuff to them, you know, and, we're saying, okay, the US government and, the Israeli government, they're trying to come in to fight terrorism. And I think they just want to get a piece of the action of the artisanal mining that's going on in Nigeria. That's what I think, because it is alleged that the Chinese are coming in here and are doing illegal mining of rare earth materials in Nigeria, and former military generals, they're doing that in Nigeria, and the US is like, we need to figure out a way to get in and get a piece of the action, and we'll use our military. That's what that's a possibility. I mean, it's happening in Iraq. It's happening in Afghanistan. What makes it any different in Nigeria? So, because do Trump really like black people like that? Do he really like people of color like that? Let's really answer that question. Do Trump really like black people? That he's going to come to a bunch of black people that is monogamous to a population, the largest black people on the planet, and say, oh, the beloved Christian population. He don't like us like that. He don't. So we're going to an administration that don't like black people. In my opinion, I just don't think he like us. So he's gonna come in there and say, "Hey, um, please help us to end terrorism." Why would he want to help you end terrorism in Nigeria, so that your economy becomes better than his? You're not able to build infrastructure. You're not able to better your value chain. You're not just going to be a country that they can take raw materials and develop their own country. Are you kidding me? Why? I mean, I'm just being honest. It's how Africa has been for the past, what, millennia? That's how Africa has been. So, what makes you think that they want Africa to be any different? You know, I love the United States. It's my country too. I'm just saying, the America's interest is that Nigeria doesn't develop, and that's the truth. The truth is the truth. What's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right. So him saying, "Oh, the beloved Christians have been," do you know how long the Christians have been unalived? Do you know how long Christians have been unalived? It's been so long. So what makes you think they give a crap about us now? And then you got the Israeli government that tens of thousands of Palestinian kids are being unalived over there. And then they're here, oh, we care about black. Look, we need to see the writing on the wall that if we don't get ourselves together as a black nation, as Nigerians, we're going to just be ripe for the pickings. The Chinese are already doing it. Now you got Americans want to come do it. Israelis want to come do it. Which other country? What? Russia? Iran? Iraq? Saudi Arabia? We will be ripe for the picking. Why? Because Western education is sin. We want Sharia law. Why isn't it happening in Saudi Arabia? Qatar, Doha. Why is it not happening over there? Some of the best airlines in the world are Middle Eastern, predominantly Muslim. A lot of American celebrities and athletes want to come to Saudi Arabia. But we as a country, the Muslim religion has to be so dysfunctional that it's self-destructive. So I mean, I just gotta say it like I say it. Because you want Nigeria to be Islamized, you want Nigeria to be ripe for the pickings. Chinese have been doing it for quite some time. Now the US is coming in as we love the Christians. No, you don't. You just want to join the Chinese. The Chinese coming in, Israelis are, we want to help you fight terrorism. Like you help the Palestinians. So they're gonna come too. So let's just be real. Yes, Kwakwanso, his name is on the list. He's likely guilty, but so are many others. And I haven't seen all the names that are on that list in the bill, but there are names that are popular that are on that list. You got the names of the unknowns. If you see them walking down the street, you won't even know them. So, what difference does that make? They are known names that control the known names. So, the known names are still out there talking. So, that's the issue that I'm having with the whole Nigeria Religious Freedom Act. Excuse you? What you gonna have something for Niger, Burkina Faso, Benin Republic, Chad? Are you gonna have legislation for the entire world? So let's just call a spade and just keep it moving. You want to come into the country. Yes, you may want to fight them because they are representatives of Al Qaeda and you're fighting Al Qaeda around the world. So, that, in fairness to you, you're going to do that so that you can dismantle the terrorism infrastructure globally. But in addition to that, it's also a resource grab, isn't it?